Hey everybody, I want to talk to you today about a report I read yesterday, and this is from the SBA's OIG. This is about fiscal 2022 challenges and some of the things they're trying to address. So I'm going to be looking off camera here to actually read some of the notes that I took for this one. I've got a link to the report in the description for this video, so if you want to go click on it and read all 45 pages of this riveting report, you can go ahead and do that yourself. Actually, as far as government reports goes, it's actually a very quick read. But you know, it's a government report anyway. So this report talks about 8 challenges that businesses are facing and that the SBA is trying to address. And so I want to talk about 3 of those today. And the first one here, I'll be really brief on this one. This is about fraud with the economic relief programs. Who saw that coming, right? How could we have seen that coming? That there's fraud from these economic relief programs. So, and I say that every time there's any sort of economic disaster, natural hurricane type things, whatever it is, any time of economic relief that there's a program out there for, whether it's FEMA or anybody else, there's always a massive amount of fraud. So this has been going on for decades, and it's just, you know, people who want to take advantage of things see that as a great opportunity and dive in and take advantage of it. So one of the notes that I took in here was that they had found approximately 70,000 loans totaling $4.6 billion in potentially fraudulent PPP loans. So think about that. So one of the things I said when we heard about PPP loans, day one was, if you don't need it, don't get it, don't take it. Because I think what happens when there's a lot of fraud going on is innocent people get caught up in this too. So innocent people will get audited, and, you know, things will be put under a microscope. And yeah, you don't have anything to worry about, but still, it's the process of going through it all is extremely stressful, and you know, you never want to open yourself up to that. So hopefully, if you heard my advice about that, you didn't take it, you're not susceptible to any of this, and you're good to go. So that's all I'll say about that one. There's several other issues they point to about that. You can go read that for yourself. Challenge number 2. This is an interesting one. Inaccurate procurement data and eligibility concerns in small business contracting programs undermine the reliability of contracting goal achievements. I thought this was really interesting one. And so there's 2 main issues that they described here. One is agencies receiving credit for ineligible firms or those no longer in the HUBZone or 8A program. So for whatever reason, firms were, or agencies were still getting credit for companies that were no longer in 8A or HUBZone. And one of the things that talks about this is with the HUBZone program is that people, there was a change, I believe in 2020, where even though you initially had to have a certain percentage of your employees in the HUBZone, that only had to be for 180 days. Then they could move out of that, and you could have 0 employees in the HUBZone at that point and still qualify, which was not the intent of the legislation, as they describe here in this article here. And so that was a challenge. But again, anyway, so some challenges with people receiving credits for companies that are out of those programs. The other one, which was really interesting, was a woman-owned small business certification program susceptible to abuse. So this says in 2020, they had reviewed 15,000 or received 15,000 applications. 3,242 of them were approved, 87 denied, and they asked for more information on over 12,000 applications. So what does this tell me? This doesn't tell me that they are drastically declining or denying these WSB applications, but they're scrutinizing them a lot heavier, which they should. I see this all the time, abuse in this particular program, and they should absolutely look at this one pretty close. But anyway, they've recognized this. They're trying to implement some solutions around it, and so we'll see what happens. The next challenge, which is challenge number 5 in here, is the SBA's management and monitoring of the 8A program. And so they list 4 issues. One is they're trying to address the ability to develop firms under the program and manage and measure the results. The streamlined application process exposed the 8A program to higher fraud. That was an issue. And corrective actions are needed to improve eligibility process and reduce risk of ineligible firms participating in here. As well as the fourth one is economically disadvantaged determination criteria should be based on a sound methodology. So they've seen several flaws with how that is, how those are being determined, and they're trying to address that. The one that I thought was really important was the first one, where they're trying to measure the results of people in the program. So being able to monitor from year 1 to year 9 how people are progressing through the program. They really haven't found a good way to do it, whether it's through software or monthly reporting or anything, and they're definitely trying to address that. Here's the roundabout thing that you need to know about this and the other things that are in here. When I see stuff like this, this leads me to believe that even though they're trying to put some solutions in place, more stuff is coming. So expect changes over the next 12 to 24 months in the WSB program, in the 8A, in the HUBZone. I would expect people to read these reports and say, hey, what changes do we need to make? Do we need to make sweeping changes? At what level do those changes need to come in? Who should be involved, that sort of thing. So I expect to see changes over the next 12 to 24 months. I could be wrong, but I would expect after you see a report like this that you'll see that. One of the things about the 8A program that it mentioned was we are down from the normal around 7,000 back in 2016 down to around 4,900 participants in the program. So I know they'd like to get that number up, but they want to make sure it's eligible companies. So go ahead, click the link below, go read that report. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, it's a report from the OIG at SBA. Really good report on several challenges they're having and how they're trying to address them. So let me know if you have any questions. We'll see you next time.